Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Richmond's Morning News here on the Voice of Virginia News Radio, WRVA. Remember, if you don't wake up with us, you're just going to be playing catch-up the rest of your day. So thanks for joining us this morning on Thursday, April 16th. My name is Rich Herrera. I've got Cup of Joe behind the glass running the show today, so no guarantees that everything's not going to be fat-fingered throughout the morning. I got Super Dave Ayler, who's over there eating bonbons, and I didn't know that we had a masseuse that comes into the control room, but he's back there actually having a very wonderful time. Hey, Gary Hess, glad to have you back here this morning with us.
It's good to be back, I think.
Yeah, it's good to be seen, right?
Yeah.
I did not park in your parking space while you were gone.
I gave you permission to do so.
Just not right. Just not right. But other people did, and we will hold them accountable.
This is the level I just, when I'm not here, I really can't muster up
Chaos ensues. People parking where they don't belong.
Dogs and cats, I know.
Yeah, it's awful. It is absolutely awful. But we're glad to have you back. Thank you so much. Of course, Gary will be jumping over here because I'm taking off tomorrow, taking a group of WRVA listeners to Ireland. So I'll be gone for about a week and a couple days.
We'll be checking in with you, though.
Yeah, I'll be checking in. Tomorrow we will leave to go to...
I'm going to see if I can remember how to do this. I've filled in quite a bit over the years, but it's been a while. So
it's a very difficult, high-level, higher wire act that we have without a net here on Richmond's Morning News. So I'm
But hey,
confident.
if you can do it.
Hey, listen, you're no slouch.
I'm a tremendous slouch.
Exactly.
You know that.
All right. We'll check in with Gary in just a little bit. I also want to welcome everybody. We've been beta testing, doing the show online on a stream. So if you want to check out and see what it looks like when we do Richmond's Morning News, you can at Rich for America on YouTube and on Facebook. And this is our final big beta test. And then when we get back, I think we'll be able to launch it on the WRVA YouTube and Facebook page as well. So if you want to check out the show, see what we look like today, I've got pretty good hair today. Please check it out on YouTube and Facebook, Rich for America. All right, lots to get to on the program today. Special guest joining us, Glenn Youngkin, former governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia. He's had a lot of things to say about Her Excellency Abigail Spanberger. He will join us for an exclusive interview coming up at 8 o'clock today. And, of course, it's Thursday, so we catch up with Governor Jim Gilmore. So we got back-to-back governors for you this morning, only on News Radio WRVA. So let's get after it. Time to start off our day as we do every day right here at 6 a.m. with your Richmond Morning News Brief. Let's go. Story number one is the governor is going to come on the show, and we're going to want to hear what our former governor is going to say because I don't know if he's going to recognize what's going on in Capitol Square. That's story number one.
Number one.
All right, Glenn Youngkin has been in the news lately. He's not happy with some of the direction that we see in the state, and he's giving his full-throated support, answering back to Abigail Spanberger in a series of ads that you're starting to see on television. He's going to join us on the program today. We'll talk to him about, of course, what Gary was reporting about earlier, the big redistricting battle that's going on. 3 days of early voting left, and then next Tuesday will be Election Day here in the Commonwealth. Latest polls have come out and said that the yes people, the ones who want to gerrymander our Commonwealth and push aside the constitutional amendment, it's leading by 5 points. But with independents, overwhelmingly, independents are saying, nope, I don't like any bit of this. We'll see what Glenn Youngkin has to say when he comes on the program here in just a bit. Story number two that we're working on for you, Brett Sadler is going to be joining us from the Heritage Foundation, retired Navy captain. You see him on Fox News quite a bit with his analysis of what's going on with the war with Iran. Here's the latest from Fox News. That's story number two.
Number two.
With the U.S. naval blockade of the Strait of Hormuz holding, there is a lot of talk about new negotiations between the U.S. and Iran. Pakistan's army chief in Tehran, reportedly with a message from the White House. There's speculation about another face-to-face meeting between the two sides in the coming days. The administration says it feels good about a possible deal, but if it doesn't work out, they've announced new sanctions against Iran they call the financial equivalent of the bombing campaign. Meanwhile, that blockade of ships leaving Iranian ports going through the strait is ending its third day. Central Command says it's intercepted 10 ships so far. Iran threatening to strike out at regional trade in response.
All right, that's Greg Palcott from Fox News. Here's the latest. China, in a headline that's just popping right now, is urging the U.S. to get the Strait of Hormuz open. Why? Saying that is a key waterway in international trade. 20% of the oil goes through there, and a lot of that goes to China. Now that China has to buy their oil like everybody else because the Ghost Fleet is gone. Venezuela is now not in their control. They can still get oil from Russia, but the whole Ghost Fleet where China was able to get oil cheaper than everybody else by 20%, or excuse me, $20 a barrel, that's done. They've got to get their oil like everybody else. And now that Strait of Hormuz has been chucked off, that's costing them more money. So they're now urging, it's interesting, they're urging the U.S., even though they're allies with Iran, to get that thing back open. If they're urging the U.S. to do that, what are they doing behind the scenes with Iran? Remember, Iran, China, and Russia. Venezuela was part of that. Cuba was part of that, saying, hey, we're going to stand up to the United States. This thing is moving. This thing is moving along quicker than we realize. When we see in the headlines, we'll catch you with Brett Sadler of the Heritage Foundation about that coming up later today on the program. Story number 3, Hunter Biden. I guess he couldn't get that big fight with the Trump boys, so he's on a road trip. That's story number 3.
Number 3.
I just got a call from Andrew Callahan. He asked me to come out on the Channel 5 Carnival Tour at the end of the month. I think we start in Phoenix, and then we go to San Diego, and we end in Albuquerque. And I think he's trying to organize a cage match, me versus Eric and Don Jr. I told him I'd do it, 100% in, if he can pull it off. And if he can't, I'm still coming.
This could be the most ridiculous thing you'll hear today. Of course, he says, oh, I'll do a cage match. I'll come. When I first heard him say this, I thought he meant like a carnival cruise. I'm like, in Albuquerque, San Diego? No, it's it's something that he got invited to. Yeah, we're going to put together a cage match, and I'm going to fight the Trump boys. I wish the Trump brothers would have taken him up on his offer, but they can't now because Hunter Biden, who now is facing financial peril, people stopped buying his paintings. For some reason, they're not buying his paintings anymore. And he's not living in a billionaire's house, and he's not being able to live at the White House. Remember, for a while, he lived at the White House when his dad was president. Well, now he's left the country, and his lawyers aren't happy because he hasn't paid any of his bills. So Hunter Biden is not, I won't say he's on the lam, but reports say that he could be in South Africa where his wife is from. But nonetheless, this is the man that our former president called the smartest person he knew. And honestly, listen, he's got issues. You can mock him all you want. I'm not going to. But I will point this out, that he was one of the key advisors to Joe Biden in the last administration. You know how much the Trump family advises each other, the Bush family advises each other, the Clinton family. Who was Joe's go-to guy? Hunter Biden. I'll just leave it at that. Story number 4 has to do with tickets, a lawsuit that Super Dave Ayler's all hot and bothered about, which means Ticketmaster loses in court. Now people are looking at them a little bit differently. This is story number 4.
Number 4.
This is a major win for state antitrust enforcers and potentially a seismic shift in the live music industry. After 6 weeks of testimony, the federal jury sided with D.C. and more than 30 states, finding Live Nation and Ticketmaster operate an illegal monopoly. The jury found Live Nation overcharged fans by about $1.72 per ticket and used its control over tours, venues, and ticketing to box out competition and drive up prices. Live Nation pushed back at trial, arguing it competes fairly in a crowded market and denying it pressures venues to use Ticketmaster, but the jury was not persuaded.
All right, so that lawsuit goes on. This is going to bring on other lawsuits now. Super Dave Ayler, who is a huge live music fan, he loves going to concerts. He's like, woo! I'm like, what are you talking about? We'll talk about that this morning on the show. I don't know if I've got a problem with Live Nation or Ticketmaster. What I do have a problem with is the scalpers that buy up all the tickets as soon as they go on sale, and then they jack up the price to a $45 ticket when you go to actually buy it, when you get your hands on it, costs $500. That's my beef. Anyway, that's story number 4. And let's give you something to smile about today. Story number 5 has to do with a high five.
Number 5.
Today's the day that you got to give out all the high fives you can.
High five.
Because it's National High Five Day.
High five. Give him a high five. High five.
It's National High Five Day. High five.
If you really want to get crazy, go for the double high five.
High five.
Happy National High Five Day.
Don't leave me hanging.
Boom. Mic drop.
Let's go.
Hey, congratulations, everybody. Today is National High Five Day. Today's the day you're supposed to walk around giving everybody you see a high five. Hey, Cup of Joe, high five. Super Dave, high five. Gary, high five. High five, high five. Hand slap, as Bobby Boucher would say. I got a little bit of story for you. Do you know where the high five came from? The inventor of the high five was my friend Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker played for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I believe it was in the 1970s, maybe 72. Glenn Burke, who had, I think he hit a home run, came in. Dusty was waiting for him as they go to celebrate, and Dusty put his hand up. Glenn Burke reached up and slapped his hand, and the high five was born. And the world has never been better since that. The world's gotten better, I should say, because of the high five and my friend Dusty Baker. You guys know Rigney, my son, his middle name is Baker after Dusty. So to Dusty Baker and Rigney Baker and all of you, high five today for National High Five Day. All right. That is your Richmond Morning News Brief. If you want to comment on any of these stories we're talking about this morning, 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140 is the James River Air text line. We read the best text messages at 6:55, 7:55, 8:55. Plus, we got a lot of great guests coming up on the program today. Headliner Glenn Youngkin joins us at 8 o'clock for an exclusive interview with the former governor of this Commonwealth. That's coming up today here on Richmond's Morning News. Also, don't let me forget. How can I forget? Jeff Katz didn't give away the money yesterday. Okay, I'm not that sad because that means we get another opportunity to give away $100,000. But you got to keep listening all morning long. Wait for that cue to call in, and you can win $100,000 today as we celebrate our 100th birthday. It's all brought to you by our friends at Roofmax. And I thought yesterday Mo was going to win. Today, come on, let's give away the $100,000 before I leave on this vacation. Your chance coming up sometime during the show. Again, if you want to send us a text message, 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. All right. I want to talk to you about men's wellness centers. Men's wellness centers, for almost a decade, guys have walked in with that same look on their face, like, what is going on? Whether they're walking into their locations in Glen Allen, Virginia Beach, or Newport News, they all have that same look, question. It's a lack of confidence, lack of energy. You're like, what happened to me? I just feel like an old man now. What really happened to me? I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I don't know who to talk to about it. And I'm embarrassed. And I'm just, okay. Put all that aside, because once you come to men's wellness centers, you sit down with a licensed physician. They go through your medical history. They'll draw blood. They'll do lab work. And by the way, they do this all in one day. And they let you know what? You can use a little bit of help. Call them right now. 1-800-410-3577. 1-800-410-3577. Mention my name, and that first visit is free. Go online to menswellnesscenters.com.
Hey, it's Jeff Katz. Why have Richmond's mayors failed to get the job done? Former Governor Doug Wilder joins us later.